Hey folks, CB3 here with another live update. It is Thursday, January 30th, and so much has happened this week. This Thursday morning feels like Friday afternoon to me. But what's going on? The crazy mini crash that happened on Monday. We're going to get into that. Talk about the rebound on Tuesday when it looks like this DeepSeek is not really that big a deal, the Chinese AI engine, and then today with the Fed's announcement. It's all here. CB3 Live Update begins now. So we all know that AI is one of the most important technologies, if not the most important technology coming to the world over the last few years and certainly being developed this year. And so what happened on Monday was the Chinese announced that they have a very inexpensive product called DeepSeek, which can compete with the biggest engines, the biggest AI engines in America. Well, that turns out not to be true, but on Monday we didn't know that. So what they are doing in China is buying NVDA chips on the black market and then creating a product based on that. But it's controlled by the Chinese government. So if you go to the app and say, tell me about Tiananmen Square, for those of you that are real young, you'll have to Google that. It's not going to know the answer. In fact, it'll just say it has no idea. What do you think of Xi Jinping? No answer on that. So obviously it's not a full service app because the Chinese are going to limit what you can actually do to search on it. But what they will be doing is scraping your emails when you download the app. So be careful out there if you want to download this. I would suggest that you look at Perplexity, which has actually incorporated this DeepSeek within their cloak of devices, if you will, 4 different engines. And I use this product. I don't make anything for doing this. I'm totally at arm's length, but it's free anyway. So you might look at that. Here's the thing. NVIDIA lost $500 billion on Monday. That sounds crazy, and only 16 companies in the US are even worth $500 billion. So of the 10 biggest market crashes by any stock, 7 of them are from NVIDIA. NVIDIA had a nice rebound on Tuesday and didn't do so well today, but the reality is you're going to see this kind of volatility as the AI race, not only between companies, but between countries, continues to evolve. Add that to Donald Trump being president, and there's more volatility in the first 3 days of this week than we usually get in 2 weeks. So that's what happened on Monday. On Tuesday, markets rebounded. People reassessed whether this AI competitive landscape really is threatened, and the S&P and NASDAQ both closed up with 1.7% gains. Wednesday, stocks closed lower as the Federal Reserve kept interest rates unchanged, but we all knew they were going to do that. What is significant is that they pretty much were hawkish in their language. It's way more about what's happening at the talk that Jay Powell gives afterwards and how terse he is with the reporters, which he was today. S&P declined 0.6%, NASDAQ fell 1%. I think we just need to face as investors, this is not going to be an accommodative Fed in 2025. We've had a couple rate drops totaling 100 basis points, and that might be all we get until May. It might be all we get until September. I think there'll at least be one cut this year. So that's what's going on. It doesn't surprise me that we're having this volatility. You guys just got to hang in there on this, all right? CG made a nice comeback after being up, beating the S&P on Friday. It dropped Monday and Tuesday, came back today. People are wanting to see their statements every day now. That's okay. You know how to do it. Go to Interactive Brokers and you can see it there. I do want to mention, I've had a couple people say to me, you know, I try to look at my account when I come home from work and the site's always down. Well, there's maintenance on the site from 1700 to 1830. For those of you that don't like 24-hour time, that would be 5 p.m. Central to 6:30 p.m. Central, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Sometimes on Friday, but usually not. So just know that you're not going to be able to get your statement then, but you can set it up so that you can automatically receive your statements. And I strongly suggest that you do that if you really want to check your accounts every day. Nothing wrong with that if you do, especially in all this volatility. We are working hard every single day to bring you the highest risk-adjusted returns that we can find. Going to have more of an update on Sunday night when I record it, and you'll hear that on Monday. Hang with us, folks. It's going to be an interesting ride as we finish January and head already into the second month of the year. God bless you guys. We'll see you next time on CB3 Live Update.